Hello, hello.
There.
Welcome to Ask the Wizards.
Are we good? We can hear, everybody can hear all
All right.
thumbs up.
We're testing out a new camera setup and a new miking setup, actually. So hopefully we both look 20 years younger and
Uh-huh.
our voices aren't as rough and gravelly. Right, guys, right.
And even though it's
Right, everybody.
10 o'clock in the morning in Austin, we finished Magical Worlds yesterday, and one of the students had an amazing experience for us. It was
Yeah.
mind
One
blowing.
of the students brought like 24 bottles of port dating back to 1943.
No, 35.
35.
35.
Yeah, so they tried almost 100-year-old port last night. Yeah.
And it was a lady.
As you do at
But it's
Magical
like
Worlds.
that,
Yeah.
that surprise. That's what I love here, is that there's always something to surprise and delight. So,
Yeah.
we've got some good questions.
All right, let's hit it. Let's see what the questions are. Let's see.
And Paul Boomer,
Yeah,
running
there we go.
this.
I'm going to move this so we can actually see things.
Uh-huh.
We don't need to see our faces.
No, we don't need us.
All right. Dear Wizards, I have a question about writing a radio recruitment ad for a large company. Okay. These large organizations often have several different job openings to fill in various departments. Yeah. In my experience, large companies don't have the tight culture that a small business has. And so it's more difficult to leverage that.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, the client interactions would be through their marketing department, who would then shuttle it back and forth for us with the HR people. My question is, if you were presented with the task of writing this, how would you go about looking for content? Would you simply do a job listing of here's the jobs we had to fill, apply here? That's a good question.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, how's it going? So can I ask some clarity questions? Are you unmuted?
Shoot.
Okay. That was a real succinct question, but I got lost a little bit in the typically here's how it works section. So you're saying typically what you would do is you're not going to get to talk to the department head or the department chair or anything like that. You're just going to get handed the posting from HR and expected to work from that. Is that accurate?
Sometimes that is in fact what happens. And if we do speak with HR, it certainly wouldn't be the director. It would be a lower level HR person.
Okay. Do you have the time and or ability to try to have meetings with people who would be more intimately involved with the job role?
Well, we could ask about that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not trying to, I don't want my answer to add like a second part-time job to your schedule. But what I would say is there is, first, best case scenario, there's absolutely no replacement for sitting at the table with the person who's going to manage and understands the department, is in charge of culture and understands the team and knows what role is going to be slotted. You know, all of those things. Like if you could even get a half hour or 30 minutes with that person and you don't do any ad writing, you just sit down like a reporter and hit record and sit it down and just ask them questions and until you run out of time.
So you understand the situation.
Yeah. And even,
Cool.
and then you go back with that recording and you start coming up with a plan. So that's best case scenario. That's what I've done. I mean, that's what we do for clients. That's uncovery, right? That's what you do when a small business comes in and you say, well, what is it you're trying to accomplish? We're going to write ads for you. Colleges are weird, man, because as soon as you get the department head or chair in your title, you start to be like, I'm too important for the little people. And then someone's like, well, we need to send you good people. Like, what do we do? It's like, we'll make it good. If you can't do that, then you're going to be saddled with as much internet research as you can figure out on your own. And what I would do is I would just try to figure out what the vibe of the college and that department is in general. And then I really would just take the job listing and try to make it sound less boring. And I don't mean like the job itself less boring, but like the way those are written are always, like it's like reading an outline, right? For a course curriculum. It's like, nah, let's take this outline of job postings and try to figure out like what kind of human being fits that role. And let's then write an ad around the fact of like, hey, are you the kind of person who XYZ? Are you the kind of person who XYZ? Like when we were writing, what was it that Roy did one time that I loved, and I've used it ever since, but it was, are you the kind of person who has 3 or 4 unfinished novels on your laptop at all times? Are you the kind of, this is what he did when he was looking for an ad writer.
Describing the person.
He just starts describing someone who is serious about writing. And he's like, because I don't need an ad writer, I need a writer. I can train them to write ads.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's the best ad is always going to be, are you the kind of person who, do your friends always turn to you to organize the party because that's how everything goes right? Do you? And so I mean, no matter who you talk to, that's the direction that the ad has to go. And it can be unique for every job role. And I would write a different posting instead of just like, so-and-so college is looking for jobs. They need blank, 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 blank.
How many jobs a year are we talking about for this organization? Like, is it a constantly changing list?
Well, it would vary from one client to another. Some of them might have 3,000 employees. So there would be significant.
They're constantly hiring.
Yeah, some might be 100 employees.
Okay.
And so for some of them, I think a valid approach to this too is to just go back to the basics of what we teach in advertising and marketing, and be the company people think of first and feel best about when they're looking for a new job, right? So you have an ongoing campaign if you can do it, if you can get the people in the room that Daniel's talking about, and you convince them, no, you need to be on the air 52 weeks a year talking about what a life-changing thing it is to work for this company. By the way, right now we're hiring this, and this. Go to the website and have a look if you think a change is in the air for you. And so if they're hiring all the time, man, you don't want to be writing ads for every single posting. And then you're being judged by the quality of the candidates that replied to
a single ad.
Yeah. And what you really want is you'll accomplish two things doing it this way too. You'll make people feel better about that company, right? Whether they're a business to consumer company or not. People in the community will appreciate them more, and they'll feel good about working there. The people that already work there will feel a little pride of ownership.
Yeah, that is
that
is my place.
Yes, that's the place I work, man. So,
yeah,
if you can get them to commit to a campaign like that, you can kill so many birds with that one stone and still do the recruiting ads.
Yeah, I agree with that. Does that seem helpful? Cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that answer, and then if you're doing a much smaller college and it's very like we just need to hire 2 people, we probably won't need to hire anyone else again till next year. Then you can get way more specific on the job role. But either way, do that. If you can meet with the people who are hiring, it's always good because it helps you learn about the culture of the company that you're writing those big feel-good ads for, because you can get them to tell you a story about the favorite thing that they had happen for them last week, or their favorite thing from last month, then when the department chairs got together, or when they had an off-site thing. And then if you can't, then you're just going to be just Googling.
And I would say also just make sure that you have access to whatever they're posting on Indeed and those kinds of places, so that you can align the radio ads with what's online, so that it's obvious that we're talking about the same job.
Sweet.
That's always a good idea.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.